How we face or deal with pain or adversity can show us a lot about who we are. John MacDonald says, every problem introduces a person to themselves. There's lots of reasons we face pain and difficulty, sometimes coming out of our experience or incompetency, disappointment, times of change, not being as good as we think we are at something, and some painful experiences are just unavoidable, like illness or bereavement. And we might not like who we are in the midst of those things, but sometimes we can feel unable, particularly in the moment, to do anything about it. The thing about problems or times of pain is that everyone has them and no one likes them. But how we face them, navigate our way through them, and ultimately reflect on them, if we can do it, can lead to real growth and be something that moves us forward and not backwards. The thing about difficult times is that they rarely leave us the same. The law of pain says, good management of bad experiences leads to great growth. Now, there are numerous stories in the Bible of people who faced painful times, difficulties in relationships, exile, death, physical pain, persecution. Think Abraham, Joseph, Daniel, Elijah, Jonah, the apostles, and of course, Jesus. And you may want to pause the video here and just have a think about some of those stories. What did these people find out in the midst of their struggles about who they were, and more importantly, who God is? Well, I hope that was interesting to think about, and we'll do some more of that when we meet in person. In a lot of these stories, we hear about people's faithfulness, think Abraham or Daniel, or their wrestling with God, Elijah, Jonah, and Job. And in the midst of their troubles is their relationship with God. James chapter 1 verse 2 says, "My brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of any kind, consider it nothing but joy, because you know that the testing of your faith produces endurance, and let endurance have its full effect, so that you may be mature and complete, lacking in nothing." Why should we count suffering as joy? Well, like in these Bible stories, if God is in the midst of our struggles, then they will draw us closer to God, and through our reliance on Him, will change us to be more like Jesus, changed for the better. Now, that's easy to say and much harder to do. But I would say from experience, if we can be real about our emotions and behaviour in the middle of times of pain, and if we can have a level of God awareness and self-awareness in the middle of it, it will help us deal with and understand our emotional reactions to times of suffering, and will allow Jesus to do a work in us that will ultimately lead to our growth into somebody more mature and complete. So before the next session, if you feel able, think about a time that has been hard or painful for you. And I sometimes find it helpful to think about what's been my greatest time of pain, or what is my latest time of pain. And that might be from your work situations or your childhood or something really personal. How have you dealt with these times? How did you learn from them, either during it or in retrospect? Have you grown through them into a different person, or what might have stopped you growing? And we're going to have a time of sharing in the session. So think now about what or how much you're going to be willing to share. And not everyone has to, it's not compulsory. But any experiences where you have changed or grown because of a difficult situation, hearing that story might help others on their growth journey. So I hope that's okay, and we'll see you then in the session. Bye.